feel like this light is so bright. Let's try this. Better? Nope. There we go. We'll just leave it alone. Greetings, greetings, greetings. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I guess it's trying to connect or something is happening. Just don't know what's happening. Anyhow, I'm here waiting on all you. This is disturbing. Usually by now more people have logged on to say hello. Andrew Cole 52, Kristinoviana 12. I don't know if I said that right. Hello, hello, welcome, greetings. This might be a slow night. That's okay. Gonna hop on, talk my shit, hop off. Hiya, darling. S.Marie. I feel like I always say your name in the same kind of weird way. Scent_Felix, greetings and good evening, good night. Welcome, 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 welcome. Mr. Andrew Cole, I am doing well, thank you. How are you? Dora Coleman, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. How is everybody feeling? How is everybody doing? As per the norm, we usually give it till about 9:05. Or so to, give people an opportunity to kind of log on, get a beverage. You see what I'm talking about? Dora, you're my girl. Get a beverage and get yourself set up. Mr. Craze Driver, what's up, Guancy? How you doing? Happy you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Mr. Andrew Cole, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you and your family as well. Okay, Pebolo? I don't know if I said that right. What's going on? Mo, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So of course the topics tonight that we're going to cover, sorry, let me introduce myself. I'm AJ. I am the host of the Pum Pum Chronicles, and every Wednesday night I do a live, Wet Wednesdays it's called. And we talk about sex, we talk about relationships, we talk about love, we talk about all kinds of things. Mo, you ain't coming for nobody. Keep your ass where you are. So this week we're going to talk about what is the best way to eat pussy. And then we're also going to talk about, is there a difference between needing time in a relationship versus being needy in a relationship, and what those two things look like, and if they're even the same thing or not. Of course, my channel is, I just sparked a fat one. I'm here for the ratchetness. Oh, Lord, could you just try to behave yourself a little bit tonight, please? Just a little bit. So, of course, my podcast channel is, sis, you joined in, Wappen Gigi Lawless. Oh, see, I got to give you a wave. So my podcast page is the Pum Pum Chronicles. And then, of course, my YouTube channel, which I probably should pin. How do I probably should start this at the beginning, right? Let's see, the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. And then I'm so buff-handed when it comes to this because I don't know how to. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's my YouTube channel. It's the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. If you can follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, recommend and refer it to your friends, comment, all that good shit. So we're going to give it a couple more minutes. So, of course, the conversation again tonight, we're talking about the best way to eat pussy. Is there a best way to eat pussy? And then we're also going to talk about the difference between needing time in a relationship versus being needy in a relationship, or if there is a difference between those two things. I think we'll probably cover that one first for the simple fact that I feel like the pussy eating conversation is going to be an extensive conversation. So, no problem, Sonny. We'll be here. I'm here for an hour, so you won't miss much. Hopefully you won't miss too much, and hopefully the conversation will be, a good conversation. What's really funny to me? Sorry, not to be disrespectful and rude, but the people who always want to video request me to talk, you guys have 1,000,000 letters in your display name. Yeah, BDLRHM, whatever. I'm not accepting your chat request because, sir or ma'am, I don't know who you are. So if there's something you want to talk to me about, talk about it here where everybody can join in the discussion. Because if I add you, everybody's going to hear the conversation anyway. So let's not do that tonight. Let's just chill. So how is everyone tonight? How is everyone doing? How is everyone feeling? I hope everybody is good. I hope that your week up till today, today's hump day, Wednesday, of course. I hope that your day has been good. Again, I'm AJ Badass Jones. I am the host of the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it is there pinned, the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. The discussion topics for this evening are going to be the difference between being needy in a relationship versus needing time in a relationship. And of course, we're going to talk about the best way to eat pussy, if there is a best way. So we're going to tackle first the relationship question. So it's really interesting. I remember Stapleton Hazel. I'm good, thanks. I am well, thank you. I appreciate you asking, and I'm glad that you're doing good. So a few months ago, there was not really a discussion, but I think somebody had put out a tweet, kind of just trying to get a feel as to see whether or not it was crazy that they talked to their spouse, 15 to 20 times a day while they were at work. Separate from when they actually are with their person, in real time and what have you. And, people were of two minds. Some people were like, that's way too much. Like, why do you need to talk to a person that often? And it just sounds too needy. But the interesting thing is the spouse, the husband, is the one who put out the question. He said that he doesn't mind. He actually likes it. Like, he likes being able to check in with her over the course of the day and have her check in with him over the course of the day. And he didn't have an issue with, her needing text messages or quick phone calls or a quick email or what have you. A lot of people in the feed, though, that were responding were saying that that's just entirely too much. Like, don't you have work to do? So then it sparked a whole different conversation because, you have people who are not allowed to have their phone while they're at work. You've got people who, I remember years ago, I worked at UPS and we had to code our phones when we went into the property, and you weren't allowed to take your phone out. You had to put your phone in your locker and leave your phone there. Some workplaces, there's a cubby that you have to put your phone in, and you don't get your phone back until you leave, depending on the nature of the job and if it's, like you're around sensitive materials and what have you. Dora Coleman, I don't need him to keep texting or calling all day at work, but just to chime in during his lunch. And that's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely reasonable. If you're on your lunch break, you contact your beloved and, see how their day is going and what have you. But you do have some people that require, okay, so I feel like this, right? At the beginning of relationships, we're all in that I want to impress the person stage. So you call all the time, you're texting all the time, you're sending them pictures all the time. Mr. Wright, nice to see you, welcome. And you're doing the most to keep them engaged and let them know that you're engaged and let them know that you're interested. But then as time goes on, you guys become more comfortable with one another. You kind of wean yourself where you're not texting them every 10 minutes because you're no longer hopefully in that, that immediate bubble of euphoria or that blind love stage. You guys have gotten to know each other a little bit better at this point, right? So the need to text every 5 minutes should no longer be a dire need. Marie, I mean, you can check on me every now and again. We don't have to physically talk as long as we text, right? And I understand that. So then my question is, so if the person has a job where they're not able to have their phone on site and you're aware of this, do you carry feelings about the fact that you're not able to talk to them during the day? Or suppose the person had a job where you were able to text throughout the day. They've now gotten a new job where they're no longer able to have their phone with them all the time, or they can have their phone, they're just not allowed to use it, or they have to try to use it discreetly, right? Sometimes things shift and things change. You have people who, if they text you and you don't text back within a certain amount of time, all of a sudden in their mind, you don't love them, you don't care about them, you're cheating, you're talking to other people, you're doing all kinds of things instead of you're just at work doing your job and you're not allowed to be on your phone. What is a reasonable amount of time that a person is allowed before they text and respond. Now, of course, it's not the type of thing where if I text you and I know that you're not busy, I see that you're on social media, I see that you've posted on Facebook, you've posted on Twitter, you've posted on Instagram, I've texted you 2 hours ago and all now you can't reply to me, then I'm watching like you're in your stories, you're posting this, that, and the third, right? I'm going to feel some type of way. That's going to bother me because then I'm going to feel like you're willfully and deliberately ignoring me, right? So that aside, what is a reasonable amount of time to allow a person to respond to you? Obviously, if the person is taking an hour or two to respond to you, that's a little bit much. And even within that, I feel like there's a 30-second window that almost everybody has to text back really quickly and say, I'm tied up, I'll text you back as soon as I can. A simple 5-second courtesy text would do wonders. People sabotage their relationships because they feel like they have to take time to send this long, elaborate text instead of just sending something short and concise and simple and quick to let the person know that you're busy, to let the person know that you are thinking about them, but you just can't engage with them in this exact moment. Mr. Wright, that's a good question, honestly, but that depends on the individual perspective. I agree with your example. Alexis Starr, I like the daily call maybe once or twice to hear their voice, especially if the conversation is, I miss you or I was just thinking of you. I also like the sweet text. Either is cool. Okay, so, but you're saying once or twice, which, as I said, that's reasonable. You have people who want, long time 9, what's up, welcome. You have people who want to be text like constantly throughout the day. They want to know what you're doing. Like, instead of waiting until you get home to say, babe, how was your day? They want to know how your day was as the day's going on, and then still come back at the end of the day when you get home and ask you how your day was. That to me is excessive. Dora Coleman, like it got busy, let me hit you back in a little bit. And that's exactly it. You may have to go into a meeting. Your boss may have walked in. Somebody may have, dropped a workload on your desk, or someone may have emailed you to say that they need something urgent from you or something that requires your focus and attention. You can't take for granted that because a person is at work that they have the same luxury of time that you have to respond to you. To me, that's excessively needy. When it becomes like I'm so upset with you, I didn't hear from you, you only messaged me once today, that's a little bit too much for me. Dora Coleman, that just makes it seem like you have separation anxiety if you need constant contact. And that's something that we had talked about a couple of weeks ago, because there are people who legitimately have separation anxiety. The problem is when you have separation anxiety to the extent where it interferes with your day, or interferes with your relationship, or causes an interference in your partner's work and for them to be able to function, and jeopardizes your job in such a way that you could get fired, that is problematic, and that requires counseling and requires something, like you need to be able to deal with that. Dawn, my darling, what's up? Mr. Wright, I text my person all day, usually, but not because it's a requirement. I engage in excellent dialogue with someone I care for, so we will willfully talk all day. So my question then is, what if the person isn't able to talk all day? Or what if they were in a job where they had the luxury of time, but now they've gotten a new job where they no longer have the luxury of time? Does that cause a problem for you that you're not able to text them all day? But if we cannot speak throughout the day, we understand that life does happen. Okay, well, that's a mature and reasonable answer. I feel like needing time in a relationship is when you haven't seen the person for a couple of days. They're on a work project, so there's a certain amount of time that has gone by where you're not able to spend time with them. That I feel like is reasonable in wanting to see your person and wanting to touch and hold your person and wanting to spend time with your person. To me, neediness is, I need 5 and 15 and 20 calls throughout the day, or 5 and 15 and 20 text messages throughout the day. Like, I want to know every hour how your day is going and what you're doing and, what's going on at work, instead of being able to just wait until the end of the day when I see you and we actually have a conversation that lasts more than 5 minutes. You do have people that will make up things in their head, oh, well, I texted you 20 minutes ago and you didn't respond, so that means that you don't love me. That means that you're doing something with somebody else. Just all kinds of madness and craziness. Planet 85, what's going on? What's up? Wagwan. Welcome. But you have people who require a lot of emotional support, and that sometimes can be a hindrance in a relationship, especially if you're in a position where you're not able to have constant contact with them throughout the day. And again, like we always say, conversation is important. Conversation is integral. Conversation and comprehension are important and key. You know, instead of getting mad at the person and saying like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I text you when I can. Like, stop texting me. You know, I can't have my phone. Why do you keep it? Like, instead of engaging in that conversation or instead of engaging in that kind of argument, try to understand the perspective of the person who is acting overly needy or the person who is displaying symptoms of separation and anxiety. You have to have the conversation to say with them, like, look, I don't have the luxury of time and I cannot be on my phone all the time because it puts my job in jeopardy. I will message you on my lunch break. Again, like I always say, everyone has that 30-second window, whether it's first thing in the morning, you know, at some point in the afternoon. You know what? Take your phone with you when you go to the bathroom. Take your phone with you when you go to the bathroom, when you're in the stall. Send a quick text message to say, look, I'm at work. I can't respond. I snuck into the bathroom. I'll message you when I'm done. You know what I mean? Something simple just in terms of communication. Dora Coleman, to me, I get a little annoyed if I think you've been busy, but you tell me later on that the day was slow. Yeah. But then even still, because the person's day is slow, does that mean that they're supposed to spend the entirety of their free time with you? Does that mean that they're supposed to spend the entirety of their free time with you? That's the question I want to ask. You know, because maybe for them their day was slow, but they wanted to take a bit of a breather. Maybe they wanted to just have some me time. Maybe they just wanted to not have to text every 5 or 10 minutes. You know, maybe it's that kind of situation. Whoever's sending the hearts, thank you. I appreciate it. So the differences between being needy in a relationship, maybe that constant reassurance that the person is at work, that constant reassurance that the person isn't talking to anybody else, that constant reassurance that the person isn't sending pictures or text messages to anybody else, that constant reassurance that in every second that they have a second of free time, that all they want to do is talk to you and message you and engage with you, that type of constant reassurance to me is considered needy. It's different if, sorry guys, excuse me for a second. Mohammed Sajdi O. Yes, you can ask me a question. If it's a question about my breasts, if it's a question about sex, if it's a question about anything sexually related, I will not answer you. So if you have a respectful question that you want to ask me, please feel free to go ahead and I will answer. Outside of that, and then of course, you know, needing time in a relationship is very different. You know, as I said, like your work schedules are opposing. It could be that one of you works in the day, one of you works overnight, so it makes it difficult to connect, you know, and then you start missing the person. You actually start having those feelings of separation and anxiety, and you want to spend time with the person and try to connect with the person. That's needing time with the person. That's not the same as being needy. Okay, let's see what this question is. You are very beautiful, and I do not think that there is a human being who has such beauty. That's very sweet. Perhaps you're an angel or a piece of paradise. That's very sweet. Honestly, I do not know you and I do not know who you are or where you are from, but honestly, I have not seen anything like this beauty. Are you human like us? You know, so in Jamaica, we call that lyrics. And sir, I am not here for none of the lyrics. I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate you trying to, like, I don't know, get on my good side. I'm not sure sure what it is. Oh, I love you guys. You guys crack me up. Oh, let's move on. Dora Coleman, another scenario is when your significant other works around a lot of the opposite sex and they try to hear who is around them. Yes, absolutely right. Planet 85 come left the man alone. Him don't know. He doesn't know better. Yeah, that's always a concern. You know what I mean? Like you develop these false insecurities because of the person's work environment. You know what I mean? The person may be in a job where they are one of 3 men, you know, and then there are like 15 to 20 women that they work with. And so you develop, not you particularly, but I'm saying, but people develop these paranoias where they think, okay, well, you know, if he's not talking to me, and he said he had a slow day. That means he's talking to all them bitches in the office. Like, that means he's spending time with all them bitches in the office. That means he's flirting with all them bitches in the office. That means, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, we make up these scenarios in our head like our person is not supposed to socialize with anybody else other than us, which is crazy. I'm not saying that you're crazy, but that setup and that scenario is absolutely crazy. Mr. Craze Driver, he just said everything the men in this room are thinking or wanted to say at one time. Stop your foolishness, yeah. You think they believe that? Stop it right now. Don't even bother. There's my thing. How come he's so brave and he doesn't know me, but everybody else has something to say? Like, look at this fool right now. Mezzo92, I love your big boobs so much. That's fantastic. I don't know how that helps me because that's not paying me. Send me money. Like, you want to give me that kind of, send me money along with your compliment, because your compliment is not changing the price of tea in China and it's not helping to financially support me. The fact that you love my boobs means about as much as me growing hair on my chest. That's how meaningful it is. I love to carry you. So respectfully, because I don't want to disrespect myself, not even you, I'm just not going to respond to you because I don't have time today. I don't have time. Mr. Old Biker, Wagwan, Mr. Black Paco, my man, what's up? Honestly, Dawn, I'm trying really hard because I'm reading. This is my thing, okay? So I'm going to be straight up disrespectful for a minute. There are people who do not have a good command of the English language, but then want to come and have like sexual talk with you. Like, sir, I love to carry you. I want to change or sexual. Like, excuse my French, but what the fuck does that mean? Like, you can't formulate a proper sentence in English that I can understand, but you want to try to engage me in some kind of crazy dialogue right now? Come, sir, Mr. Mezzo, whatever your name is, before you get blocked, beg you sit down quietly and just enjoy the discussion. Stop acting crazy. Please stop acting crazy. Let's move on or back to the conversation at hand. So, neediness versus needing time in a relationship. Neediness. Sorry. I'm just going to block you because I can't. Let's see. How do I block you? You're not crazy. What would you like me to say to you, Mr. Mezzo 1992? Let me give you your 5 minutes of fame because you seem like you want to be in the spotlight for a minute. So let me give you your 5 minutes of fame. What is it that you would like for me to say to you? What would you like for me to respond? For welcome, block me? Yo. Listen, sir. Do your best to please stop trying to act crazy, right? I think this is probably the second time you've come on my live and y'all go on the most way. Unnecessarily. I don't know how much times you want to tell me that you love me and you don't know me. I don't know how much times you want to tell me, say, I love my breast them. That's fantastic. My boobs are here. They're not going anywhere. Enjoy the show. This is my thing that I don't understand. If I'm coming onto somebody's live to look at their breast, to look at their cleavage, to look at their fluffiness, to look at their goodness, to look at whatever it is that I enjoy about the person, I'm going to sit there like this and just watch. Right? Just watch and enjoy the show. But no, you want to come into the chat where everybody else can look at you and laugh at you and make a mockery of you because you're telling me, and like I said, I fought and fuck cream. I don't understand. Like, what is the point of you coming into the chat to tell me that you love my boobs? Sir, you live on the other side of the blood clot planet. How is telling me that you love my boobs going to help you? Please enlighten me. How is you telling me that you love my boobs going to help you? I'd like to know. Sorry. Woo! Dora, and that's why sometimes I can't even be bothered because you're absolutely right. They just come back under another name with like 5 million letters in their I can't. Oh gosh. I don't know what I missed. Sorry. Boy. You know what? And I had said that before, that it's usually a lot of Middle Eastern and South Asian like India, Gujarat, Pakistan. Like it's a lot of the Middle East and South Asian that come on the live and act crazy. Fam, they don't have women with breasts where you live. Like my cleavage, my breast inside my t-shirt or my tank top cannot be the only set of breasts you've ever seen in your life. Please help me understand this. Like your sole purpose of coming on the live is to tell me how much you enjoy my breasts or you think that my breasts are beautiful, and then to tell me foolishness like you can carry me. Where are you carrying me to? Please tell me. Where are you carrying me to? That's what I would like to know. Oh my goodness me. B status, what's going on? Pepper, my darling, how are you? Anyway, let me stop talking to this man before I have to continue to wile him up. Let me just behave myself. Let me get my bangs out of my eyes so that I can actually see you guys a little bit. Anyhow, the more interesting topic that we're going to discuss is how to eat pussy, or the best way to eat pussy. Now, this is the part of the conversation where I need everyone to kind of join in. Don, you could pick me up and put me in your pocket. I know this already. Like you pick me up like I weigh 5 pounds, which I don't understand. Because see, this is the crazy thing, right? Sorry. I consider myself to be a big girl. And, you know, I have people in my life who systematically tell me that I'm not a big girl. So I've had to concede that I'm an average sized girl. So Dawn, who's my very good friend that lives in New York, an amazing photographer, when Dawn hugs me and picks me up, I feel legitimately like I weigh 100 pounds. Dawn makes me feel like I'm anorexic the way he picks me up. Like I feel like he could pick me up and toss me with the greatest of ease. Like it would be no problem. Okay. So back to the discussion at hand. What is the best way to eat pussy? So this is the part of the conversation where actually I would really like a lot of feedback, because I feel like there are varying opinions when it comes to that. And this conversation, of course, is for people who do eat pussy. Like if you don't eat pussy, just don't say nothing. Just either leave the discussion or just sit back and read the comments and enjoy the commentary. So Dora Coleman said, can I first say, men, leave your beards out of it. See, now that's a controversial point, because I know women, including myself, that like the feeling of the beard rubbing and caressing against the clit. Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Kozer, oh my goodness, Mr. Kozer, crown me cozy, Kozer, crown me, Mr. Kozer had sent me, like a meme, and the meme basically said, is it better to just focus on the clit, or is it better to focus on the whole pussy? And this has been an age-old debate. This is a conversation that I've had with many women. This is a conversation that I've had with many men. This has been a topic of conversation on the podcast, you know, and I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before on Wet Wednesdays. S. Marie said, eat the pussy with your soul. Okay, so let's start there, right? If you're gonna eat pussy, much like if you're gonna suck dick, do it with the intention of pleasing the person, not just with the intention of trying to get the person wet enough that you can put your dick in her and fuck her, right? If you're not gonna eat the pussy, as S. Marie said, with your soul or with intention, just don't bother to do it, because you're wasting her time and you're wasting your own. I've talked to men who they said they basically lay their head on the thigh and just lick the clit, you know, just enough to get her wet, because their intention is to fuck. Their intention is not to be down there all night licking and sucking and doing all that other stuff. Their intention is to just get her wet enough so that they can have sex with her. Dora Coleman, and for the guys, make sure that you cut your nails. That is a very key point. Mr. Chef Mitchell, welcome to the discussion. Done. There's no way to eat pussy. You have to lick all over. There's no one way to eat pussy. You have to lick all over and feel how the body reacts. See, I love you. I completely agree with that. You know, there is no like I've heard men and women say the only thing that you need to focus on when you're eating pussy is the clit, which is a lie. You know, yes, the clit has 8,000 nerve endings, and that's where the most of the stimulation happens. But what ends up happening is it's also really very sensitive. So when you're licking and sucking on it for an extended period of time, it can start to feel irritable and it can start to go numb. You know, and you definitely don't want that to happen. There's a whole pussy there. The fat, juicy outer lips, the smaller inner lips. Like, use the whole pussy to your advantage. Use the whole, it's like painting a canvas, right? Sometimes you focus on one spot, but hopefully if you're a good painter, you're using, unless your intention is just the one spot, the one dot. But if you're trying to use the whole canvas, use the whole canvas. Consider your tongue to be like a paintbrush, right? You need to focus on not just the clit itself. The clit to me is like the icing on the cake. The clit to me is like that cherry topping, right? It's like when you have a sundae or you have a milkshake and it's got the whipped cream and it's got the cherry at the top. You don't necessarily go for the cherry right away. You kind of lick the cream off of it and put the cherry to the side because you want to savor it because it's the only one, right? When you're eating pussy, you need to focus on the whole pussy. The real McCoy, what's going on? Nice to see you. Eric, the humble one, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, you focus on the whole pussy. You focus on all of it. Let me pin this here. So what's the best way to eat? Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos where I talk while I'm posting stuff. And pin to the comments. There we go. Mr. DJ Doc Fada, Wagwan, Wapm. I always have to show you my nails. I feel like you're like my nail connoisseur. You're the one who appreciates my nails. I mean, everybody else does, but I feel like you're my nail connoisseur. Anyhow, so the point is, you really have to pay attention to the woman that you're pleasing because not every woman is the same. Not one technique is going to please every single woman. Not one way of eating pussy is going to please every single woman, right? For example, you know, Dora was saying that she prefers for the man to not get his beard involved. So if he's eating her pussy, to make sure that, you know, it's his lips and his tongue that are doing the work and that he's not scratching, you know, her vagina with his beard. Whereas with me, I like the feeling of a beard rubbing up and down against like my pussy and against my clit while he's licking and sucking and doing everything else, right? So those kind of things vary. But a key point that Dora made, which is integral and absolutely important, don't be like me. Make sure that your nails are cut and make sure that your nails are clean, you know? Because you can do a lot of damage, especially if you're fingering her while you're sucking on her clit or you're fingering her while you're sucking on her pussy. My good friend, Mr. Cool Hunter, he and I had a discussion where he had mentioned that he has the ability to give a woman an orgasm and lick her G-spot while sucking her pussy. And I was like, what? How is that possible? And so he explained it's like this, right? So this is the opening of the pussy, right? Up in here, in this area here, is where the woman's G-spot is for all intensive purposes, right? If you stick your tongue in and curve your tongue upwards and create a suction with your mouth around the opening of her pussy with your tongue inside, you can actually, it's almost like you're sucking and pulling the fleshy G-spot part towards you and your tongue is looking upwards. Listen to me. You know, I feel like I'm an old girl. Not like super old, but I'm an old girl. I've been around the block. I know one and two things. But when he told me that shit, it was mind blowing. I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And then like right now, as I'm doing the demonstration, it's like, oh, that shit really is possible. Because really and truly, if you think about it, your tongue without a piercing is probably like, what, 3 inches long? If you're gifted and your tongue is super long, your tongue is like maybe 4 inches long. If the G-spot is 2 to 4 inches in, you can stick your tongue in there and curve your tongue upwards and stroke her G-spot. Hello, hi. Hello. Did you hear what I said? You can stick your tongue in her pussy and curve your tongue upwards to lick her motherfucking G-spot. Who? You see? Mr. Cool Hunter, you need an award of some kind, because I'd never heard of that until I talked to you. And when you said it, it's like I had an aha moment. And I thought to myself, so you have women out here who keep saying, oh, all you need to do is focus on the clit. All you need to do is just focus on the clit. But I'm thinking, if you can give me an orgasm by stroking my G-spot from inside with your tongue, yo, listen to me. That just takes pleasure to a whole other level. Dawn D. Yeah, I've had one girl who's very much into me licking her lips and sucking on her clit when she was ready to come. Absolutely. Dora Coleman said, where is he at? I don't know what 11 o'clock means. Yes, put your whole face in it. And see, that's the thing. It's like, again, it's like women who suck dick and they're just like, just to kind of get you wet and going. If you're eating pussy, give it your all. Don't do a half-ass job. Especially like if I've had situations where I've had to stop the person and be like, okay, can we just not do this? I've had situations where the person's like it was just so terrible that I just refused to let them go back down there again. They're like, no, give me another chance. No, you've had several. And the only thing you succeed in doing is hurting me. And when I say ow, you don't pay attention. When I say that hurts, you don't pay attention. Why would I let you come back and put your mouth on my most precious treasure? Me look crazy to you? Me look like idiot? Because I'm not. Like, honestly, if you eat pussy poorly, I'd rather pass on getting head from you than suffering the agony of waiting for it to get better. And I feel like, too, it's not my job to teach you. Like, especially if I've tried teaching you and you just refuse to pay attention, or you want to say some shit like, oh, well, the last woman that I went down on this worked. I'm not the last bitch's pussy that you ate. And that's the problem that that's the mistake that men make. That's the problem. You cannot treat every vagina the same. Just the same way that you cannot treat every woman the same. Every woman is as different as the pussy that's attached to that woman. Some women have fat pussy. Some women have skinny pussy. I was going to say MAGA pussy, but I don't know if everybody know what that means. Some people have skinny pussy. Some people have, tight pussy with fat lips. Some people have tight pussy where the lips are pulled all the way back. Some people have clits that stick out. Some people have clits that are tucked in. Some people have clits that look like mini penises. Some people have, the inner lips that hang down, not because they're damaged, not because their pussy's loose, not because there's anything wrong with it, but their lips just flutter out a little bit like butterflies. You understand? Every pussy is as different as the woman that it's attached to, and you should treat it that way. Yes, there are some general basic skills that, everybody should know, like don't bite, don't nibble and chew on it. Like, you can nibble, but gently. You understand? Because it's sensitive. Don't act crazy. You know what I mean? It doesn't come off. You cannot take peace with you and go home with it. No matter how much you love her pussy, it doesn't come off. You cannot take peace and go along with it. You need to leave it there where it is so you can come back and enjoy it. How about that? Right? Every pussy is as different as the woman that is attached to, and you have to treat it that way. There are some basic rules, some basic things that you... Keep your nails short and clean and neat. Before you touch her, wash your hands, because, you know what I mean, you're bringing all kind of bacteria with you when you're touching her. I get that sometimes, you're in a space where, like, okay, let's say you're in the car and you guys are excited and you start to touch her and finger her. And yes, you maybe in those moments you can't keep your hands clean or wash your hands before anything. But if you're in a position to wash and clean your hands, put the excitement on hold. Make sure your nails are trimmed. Make sure your hands are clean, and then dive in for the fun. That's number one. Number two, it doesn't come off. Don't try to bite it. Don't try to put... Like, if she wants you to suck firmer on it, she'll tell you. She'll tell you. She'll give you that instruction. Dora, I like for the guy to put his hands under my ass and French kiss it. Okay. Hi, where is your peoples? How come your peoples isn't in this discussion joining in? I want to hear what he has to say. Oh, Dora Coleman, and brush your teeth. No morning breath before you go down. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But again, sometimes you're in positions where, you guys have gone to a restaurant, you've had dessert, now you're in the car and you want to have dessert, right, in those situations. But for the most part, try to be as hygienic as you can possibly be, right? That's all. Oh, he's sleeping? Wake his ass up. Um, I love you guys so much. I really do. Right. So make sure that your nails are cut. Make sure that your hands are clean. Make sure that you're not pulling and tugging and yanking on her pussy lips. If she wants you to be more aggressive, she'll tell you. Pay attention to what she's saying, not just the physical cues of her body. A lot of times, men get caught up in the like, oh my God, she's moaning, she must like it. Sometimes she could be moaning and like, that to you may sound like pleasure, sir, but that's not pleasure. Maybe she's scared because she doesn't want to say anything to you for you to stop because you're gonna stop, but pay attention to the physical cues. Pay attention to the oral cues, like the auditory things that you hear. You know what I mean? And ask questions. It's okay to ask her if she's enjoying it. You know what I mean? She'll either moan her response and tell you yes, she likes it, or she'd be like, could you do it a little bit more gentle? If she puts her hands on your head to guide you in some kind of way, follow the guidance. You know what I mean? I feel like as women, we're probably better at giving the physical cues and some of the verbal and auditory cues and instructions. Mr. Enviro can fantastic. It's just for us to pay attention to what it, and this is not just for men, this is for women who eat pussy as well. It's the same sort of thing. Pay attention to the cues. Mr. Felix, let's just call you that. I think it's exciting to go find out what she likes orally. Let her body tell you what she likes. Mr. Balls Deep, good evening, good evening, good evening. But yeah, I mean, pay attention to her body, but you also have to listen to the things that she's saying verbally or orally, right? She may be saying like, oh yes, there, I like that, I like that, I like that. And guys, I love you. Y'all are notorious for switching shit up right at that moment we're about to come. It's like when you're fucking and she's at that point of having an orgasm and she's telling you she's about to come. Somehow you guys take that as a cue that you should go harder, faster, deeper, move left, move right. And just stay at the same stroke. If she needs more, she'll tell you she needs more. Stay at the same stroke. Keep your hands clean. Don't try to pull off a piece of it and bite it like you're trying to take it with you. If she wants more, she'll tell you that she wants more. If she eases back, take that as a sign that she's trying to pull away from you and you need to slow your roll just a little bit. If she presses into you, that's her physical way of saying that she likes what you're doing and she needs more. If she grabs your head, it's because she wants your whole face in her vagina so she can smear her vagina all over your face. It's pretty simple. The clit is not the only source of pleasure. And please don't let anybody tell you that it is. There are some women that don't even know that there are more pleasurable spots within the pussy than just the clit. Now, mind you, again, the clit has 8,000 nerves and it is the center of pleasure, but it is not the only source of pleasure. Instead of just going for the gusto, build up the momentum. You know what I mean? Build up the momentum and get her to that point and then go for the clit to push her over the edge. You've got the fat outer pussy lips. You've got the smaller inner pussy lips. You've got the creases of her groin area. Play with her pussy. You know what I mean? Play with her pussy, not her clit. The clit is there, but the clit is part of the greater, the greater organ, right? The clit is part of the greater organ. Never assume that every woman is the same. Never assume that every woman just wants you to focus on her clit, because really and truly, that's not the case. I find that, and I mean this in no disrespectful type of way, but I find that either really young women and women who haven't spent enough time exploring their own bodies tend to be the ones that say like, yes, just suck on the clit and get me there. It's just wrong. I don't know a nice way to say it, but it's just wrong. There's so much more to getting your pussy eaten than just focusing on the clit. And if the only way, like, if the only thing that is that, like, fuck it, forget the rest of the pussy, just focus on the clit, just lick and suck the clit, you need somebody to make love to your pussy. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. If you only know that they're supposed to focus just on the clit, you need somebody to make love to your pussy. Top to bottom, side to side, in the middle, around the outside. Like, use your fingers, the tongue, your lips, like your whole mouth should connect with her whole pussy. Plain and simple. Mr. Don D, take your time, spend at least 10 to 20 minutes down there. Come on, like 15 to 20 minutes. How much can the tongue and lips do? I'm not sure I understand the question. Please and thank you. You know, I'm not going to respond to the comment because you guys are trying to draw me out and make me cuss and carry on crazy in here. Wayne Floss, best entertainment. Sucking pussy is not all about sex. Come. I don't know who you are, but I big you up. If I could do like a gun salute, yeah, here, gun salute. But it's true. Sucking the pussy is not all about sex. And that's the whole thing. It's like I'm saying, you know, as I said earlier, if your sole focus of eating pussy or sucking, I know, because they say you can't eat pussy because you can't swallow it, so you're not actually eating it. So if the whole purpose of you sucking pussy is just to get her there, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. There's so much more pleasure to be had from going down on a woman than just trying to get her wet enough for you to stick your dick in her. So should I French kiss the vagina? You can French kiss the vagina. You can pucker kiss the vagina. You can lick the vagina. You can broad stroke the vagina. You can blow cool air on the vagina. You can blow hot air on the vagina. You can do all kinds of things with the pussy to get her stimulated. And the really funny thing is, it's such a great explorative opportunity that people are missing the point of you know, eating what. Listen to me. If you eat a woman's pussy properly, boys, I'm gonna give you a little bit of game. If you eat a woman's pussy properly, the level of loyalty that she will have to you will be crazy. Like if she's your girl, the level of loyalty that she will have to you will be crazy, because all she'll be thinking about is the fact that you made love to her pussy with your mouth. Should you French kiss the pussy? Absolutely. You should. The way you should treat the pussy, like you see when you're kissing your woman and you hold her face and you're licking her mouth and you're sucking on her tongue and you're gently biting her lips and you're caressing her mouth with your mouth, that's exactly what you should be doing with the lower half of her body. Envirocumtastic, if she loves giving head, that pom pom already wet, ready made. We're not talking about giving head right now. You know, honestly, I wish you were still sleeping. Dora, come get your people, please. But it's true. Anyway, so we digress. I'm Mr. Envirocumtastic. I'm not going to read any more of your comments, and I'm not responding to you. I know that you're there and I see you, but I'm not responding to you. Anyway, so back to the point at hand. There's more to stimulating the pussy than just focusing on the clit. And stop letting people tell you that it's just about the clit, because really and truly it isn't. As you get older and as you mature and as you become more experienced, you know, you'll learn that there are different ways. Now, granted, there are some people who are sort of stuck in the, oh, just suck on my clit. I don't need you to do anything else. Don't try to stick your tongue in my hole. You can't fuck me with your tongue and all this other bullshit. But I guarantee you, them bitches who say that shit, if a man was to stroke her G-spot with his tongue, she would change her tune in a heartbeat. I'm telling you. Because think about it this way. Women, if you finger yourself while you're playing with yourself, how long are your fingers, right? Your fingers at best are maybe 3 inches long, maybe 4 inches long if you've got really long fingers. But let's top it out and say 3.5 inches. That, if you insert your longest finger, which is your middle finger, without my nail, if you insert your longest finger, you are stroking the G-spot right here. You are stroking right here, right? Why would you think that somebody can't do that with their tongue? Mr. Wayne Floss, oh my God, like really, my God, fucking the pussy real good makes, what? Makes you kill for you. Any man can lick pussy, but not all men can use the dick. Believe that. It's very, very true. Had this conversation earlier with somebody, but we're not going to get into that right now. But yeah, you know, use the tools that you have. You've got your tongue, use your tongue. You've got your lips, use your lips. French kiss the pussy, lick the pussy, you know, make your tongue narrow, and then broaden out your tongue, you know, experiment. The point is, you have time, take time. There's no reason why you should be eating pussy for 5 minutes, because that's pointless. And if your intention, again, is to lick the pussy long enough for her to just get wet so you can fuck her, just don't bother. Get lube. If that's the case, just get lube, slap some lube on it, and fuck away, right? If you're gonna invest time in eating pussy, especially if it's somebody that you care about and you want to get her to orgasm, if you want to get her to that point, then actually take the time to do it and do it well. You know, learn her rhythm, learn her spots, learn her body. You can't go into it thinking that you already know how to please her. You can't go into it thinking that you already know how to eat pussy. Again, there's some basic skills that everybody has and some basic things that apply to every woman's body, but not every woman's body is the same. Each pussy, you love my tongue? It's magical. Anyhow, each woman's pussy is as different as the woman that it's attached to, right? Hi, babe. Oops, sorry. Mr. Psychologist. What's going on? We're talking about pussy eating. Welcome to the discussion. Each woman's pussy is as... Did this man just say to me, please open your boob? Please open boobs me? So, I promised that I was not going to cuss anybody. But sir, learn to speak English or learn to write in proper English before you ask me anything crazy. And again, I'm going to say, like to the person before, you have these people, Mir Khan, you're probably from, not the Middle East, India, Pakistan, Gujarat, one of them places there. Listen to me. If you can't write a proper sentence in English, even asking me about my boobs, please don't ask me nothing, because I don't want to have to embarrass you. I don't have to cuss and carry on crazy. I already did that earlier. I'm not trying to do that for like the last 9 minutes of my life. Please don't ask me nothing about... Do they not have women with breasts in the country that you live in? Please. Dora, they don't have women with... Oh, right, because in Dubai they're covered up. Sorry. I take back the argument entirely. Okay, moving on to what we were talking about and what I was saying, right? Every pussy is as... Excuse me. Listen to me, babes. Don't laugh. No, all night these people have been asked. I don't understand what the whole big fascination is with... Don't act crazy. I don't know you from nowhere, sir. Don't act crazy. But then I was just thinking that, yeah, these people live in the middle of nowhere. That's right. The women, them are covered up from head to toe. So when they come on my live and they see a little bit of cleavage, like everybody's like, oh my God, breasts. Oh my God, boobs. Oh my God, boobies. Oh. Sorry. Woo! Anyhow, every pussy is as different as the woman that the pussy belongs to. And you should never go in thinking that, you know, what you did with one woman is going to work on another woman. And for the love of God, don't ever tell a woman that, oh, well, you know, the last woman whose pussy I ate, she liked this and this, she... Don't say that. Dawn, get lost. I'm not listening to you. Right now, my body is not magical. Right now, I feel like, anyhow, that's a whole other discussion. So again, just some basic key points. Make sure that your nails are clean. Make sure that your nails are cut. Use all the God-given tools that you have. Use your fingers, use your tongue, use your lips. You, treat the clit as the cherry on top. Treat the clit as the icing on the cake. You know, tantalize it, tease it, but don't let that be the focus until you feel like you're ready to push her over the edge for her to have an orgasm. You know, lick and suck on the fat outer pussy lips, lick and suck on the inner lips. Use your whole mouth, get your face in there. You know what I mean? As much as some women say, oh, I don't like when he tongue fucks me. You know what? If you're sucking on her pussy, insert a finger and stroke upwards into her G-spot. While you're licking, I guarantee you, she'll be happy. And she won't be complaining about, oh, don't tongue fuck me. Oh my gosh, what did you say? Psychologist? Covered women is no excuse. He's been on Instagram. He's got access to Pornhub. You know what? You're absolutely right. And I feel like, I don't know what it is. It's like, they come on here. Now, granted, my boobs for the most part are covered. Like, yeah, you can see a bit of side boob. And yes, you can see like cleavage or whatever. But they come on here acting crazy. Like they've never seen a set of breasts before. And I just don't even understand. Dancer Nash, treat the clit like a magical being. See you. I love you. I love you. I love you. That's exactly. It's like I said, it's like, when you have an ice cream sundae and they give you the cherry on the top, more times people will lick the cherry and kind of put it to the side because they want to enjoy the cherry after. Then they'll eat the thing that's in front of them and savor it, and then they'll eat the cherry last. That to me is like what the clit should be like. You know what I mean? And again, you know, I feel like as you get older and as you have more sexual experiences and as you become more comfortable with your body and as you learn more about your body and the things that you like, you come to the realization that the clit is not the sole focus of pleasure. It's the button that pushes you over, but it's not the sole focus of pleasure. There's a gentleman that when he eats my pussy, and unfortunately I don't see him very often. It's only when I travel. But you see, when he goes down on me, for the love of God, I am forever screaming my head off, because he doesn't just focus on my clit. He focuses on, like, he treats my pussy like he misses my pussy. He treats my pussy like he legitimately has not seen her in the few months that I haven't seen him. You know what I mean? And so when he's kissing her and touching her and licking her and sucking on her, and it's like he's reacquainting himself with an old friend. And God, child, let me tell you, it is a very, very magical experience indeed. Like super duper magical. And that's the way that you should. That would be the perfect advice that I give. Treat her pussy like she's an old friend that you haven't seen in a while. Let's hear you scream. You know what? I'm gonna block you. And you didn't spell here right. Don't act crazy. Anyhow, that would be my motto, and that would be my mantra. Treat her pussy like she's an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're so happy to see her. You know, it's like when you see somebody that you genuinely love and you hug them and you give them that deep, meaningful hug. Or when you go to kiss them, you give them that deep, passionate, meaningful kiss. That is what you should be doing with her pussy. Yeah, that's what you should be doing with her pussy. Treat her pussy like it's an old friend that you haven't seen, and you're so, so very happy to see her. Okay? Love her, caress her, you know? Yeah, like make love to her pussy. French kiss her pussy. Don't just focus on the clit. The clit is not the be all and the end all. It's a whole organ. It's a whole system that works together. Think of it this way. If you focus on, before you even get to her clit, okay? Try this for your next go around. If you focus on the outer lips, okay, so let's say this is the outer lips and the outer lips, right? Focus on the outer lips, lick and suck and bite and suck firmly, and then focus on the inner lips doing the same thing, and play with her clit. Just tease it. Don't even go all in. Make her crazy by going around it. You know what I mean? Play with her groin area. Lick and suck her groin area. Send her crazy, and then in between, tease and tantalize the clit. Don't go for it right away. Tease and tantalize it. And when you've pushed her to that point where you know she can't take it anymore, that's when you go for the cherry. That's when you put the cherry in your mouth, and that's when you savor the cherry. That's when you tap the button. That's when you tap the button, and I promise you that will send her into a maddening tailspin. You want to create a cycle? You're welcome. You're welcome. You can let me know how it goes. Anyhow, time is running out. It probably got like another 60 seconds or so. I wanted to thank everyone for joining in the discussion. Of course, if you all can follow my YouTube channel, which is, let's type it in. So it's the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast. That's my podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm also on Instagram, the Pum Pum Chronicles. You can find my episodes of my podcast streaming on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, iTunes podcast, and Google Podcasts. And of course, every Wednesday we do Wet Wednesdays. Starting, thanks, Don. Starting next week, I'm going to be adding an additional live. So I'm going to be doing probably like a Sexy Sundays as well as a Wet Wednesday. I am going to be in New York this weekend to be doing a paint shoot with Mr. Don D photos. So definitely look out for the pictures for that. But outside of that, thank you everyone who joined in the discussion. I love you guys. You know, I appreciate you putting up with my madness, even out when Miyakos people. I I appreciate you guys so much for all the support, and for joining in the conversation, and for, you know, your input and giving your words of wisdom. I hope you all have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime and in between time, stay safe.